All right, man, I enjoy talking to you every week. We learn so much about health. Is the great Dr. Vincent. Vincent, how are you this fine day?
Well, happy weekend, Richard. I'm really well. How are you?
Always good, Vincent. So apart from two gym sessions, so it's all go at this end.
Well, you do have to work, all of the food and drinks that you enjoy throughout the week and getting ready for the weekend. And two gym sessions to start off the day is really good.
Yeah, look, it is for some people. So yes, we'll put that out there right now. Um, you're going to talk about something that I think sounds absolutely horrific this morning, cold plunging.
As someone who was born and spent the first 16 years of my life in a tropical country, I have to agree with you. I don't I don't see myself doing cold plunging. I have done that before. I've tried because obviously I'm curious by nature. That's why I'm a scientist because I want to
Yep.
try and experience it with for myself. However, this is something that is really, really popular. It was actually really popular back in 2019, and it did become a little bit, because of COVID and everything. But then it came back into the forefront of a lot of people's mind when it comes to inflammation, when it comes to weight loss, and when it comes to increasing energy. And I do think that, as with everything that we cover week in and week out, I want to make sure that we have a scientific outlook onto this topic.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've occasionally been known to go, like, I've got a pool where I live. So, occasionally come back and jump in the pool. And I'll put that very occasionally sometimes. But this is a bit different, isn't it?
It is a little bit different because it is a short, very cold shock to your body. And there are a couple of reasons. There are several reasons why people are doing that. So let's explore the science pros and cons. And obviously, if you decide to try it for yourself, we also have tips for safely incorporating cold plunges into your routine. I have to say, though, that whilst there's a lot of convincing benefits to it, you need to really understand that just because you practice this one thing doesn't suddenly make you super healthy. It is
Yeah.
still only a part that plays a role in terms of health and well-being. Diet, exercise, your hydration, good posture, good breathing, good sleep, they're all playing a major part in terms of making you healthy.
Which they do. So what's the science behind it? What's the body going to do when we suddenly go along and get into water which is below 15 degrees
So
Celsius,
there
which is awful, say yes.
Yes, and some people even go to 10. But the four general benefits when it comes to cold plunges, the first one is vasoconstriction. So vasoconstriction means that the blood vessels constrict, redirecting blood flow to vital organs because this is our body's survival reaction when it comes to preserving life. So well, this is also the cause of frostbite, but obviously
Yes.
when you're doing it in a very short time and a very controlled environment, it it improves the circulation upon rewarming. So basically, it gives shock to the system, which in turn, in theory, helps with the reoxygenation of your blood as well as your organ. The second one is endorphin release. We know that endorphin is the happy hormone, and
Yep.
the shock of cold water stimulates the endorphins, which also acts as a natural body painkillers, which can lead to mood enhancement.
Is
But I
that is that
really,
because you're happy you haven't died in the cold water?
or that you basically just wake up, like it
Yeah.
wakes you up, and I do believe that if you if you plunge me in a cold water, it does wake you up much more effectively than a cup of coffee.
True.
The third one is the anti-inflammatory effects. A lot of people who is dealing with pain, joint pain, or a lot of athlete who is recovering from their exercise and training, exposure to cold water reduces inflammation and it helps with muscle soreness. I have to say that this is temporary. And again, this is
Yep.
part of a wider, more inclusive and comprehensive pain management program. And the fourth one, which is actually really, really interesting because for people who don't know, there are two types of fat in our body, the brown fat and the white fat. So the white fat, it stores energy. That's where our sugar is being converted into fat, and our body reserve that as energy resources. But in this case, in the modern time, that's the one that actually encapsulates our organs and can lead to degenerative diseases. The brown fat is the type of fat that our body uses to burn calories to keep us warm and to give us energy. And cold exposure activates that brown fat tissues, which help us to burn calories, to generate heat, to keep up with our metabolic rate. Because obviously, if we have a good functioning active metabolic rate, it helps us with energy as well as weight management.
And so, the pros of cold plunging. So, it all sounds good, when we say this. So, it would relieve muscles. That will be the number one thing if you've been exercising, wouldn't it?
That's correct. And a majority of people who are doing cold plunging, it's usually related to something that they do after training. Also, people tout the benefits of boosted mood and stress relief, which again, I really do believe that when you shock the system, you wake you wake yourself up. I don't know, you tend to be really happy or really annoyed.
Yes.
It's 50-50 for me. Circulation is something that scientifically works. With cold plunging, you just need to make sure that you don't have an underlying cardiovascular disease when you're doing this, because
Yeah.
obviously you need to be in a healthy, your body needs to be healthy and um, robust enough to endure this. Immune system, I do think that this is a secondary benefit. When I say secondary, it means that it's not a direct benefits. However, as part of being healthy and well, your immune system will be restored and will be strengthened. Improve resilience. I do believe this because if you can handle cold plunging, especially in the morning, 10 degree, I think you're pretty resilient.
Oh, yeah. I'll take my hat off to you. My God. Is there anything wrong with it? Any dangers in doing this?
Well, hypothermia, as I said, the very fact that there's a vasoconstrictor that can lead to better circulation, it is also the major cause of frostbite. So you need to make sure that it is in a controlled environment and you ease yourself into it. The shock to the system can increase rapidly your heart rate and blood pressure. So you need to
I'll
make sure.
say.
I know, right? Uh, which wakes you up. However, it can pose risk to individuals with cardiovascular conditions. Respiratory risk, hyperventilation. When people are under stress, the flight and fight reaction, it can cause people to hyperventilate. So you need to make sure, again, do it safely. And as with all of the health trends, some people will overuse it. Some people will get too obsessed with it. And I do think that when it comes to that kind of obsession, anything healthy, everything healthy will suddenly become unhealthy. So you
Yeah.
need to make sure that you're doing it with caution and you know that it's only one part of a very wide program of staying healthy and well.
And I talked to a couple of people before this, and a lot of people will just turn the cold water on in the shower for a couple of minutes to try and get them used to this. It's a way of introducing it, isn't it?
Yes, and I do think that that's actually a really good way of doing it because it is something that you can control. It is something that you don't have to necessarily buy equipment for it because this cold plunging equipment can be very expensive and you may not like it after you try once or twice. And the third one, which I also really think is really good when it comes to showering, because if you do the last 30 seconds to a minute cold shower before you dry off and everything, not only it helps you easing into the cold plunging if that's your interest, but it also helps to wake up your skin, especially in the morning.
Yeah.
Because as you know, when we're sleeping, we're in the horizontal position, our body retains water, and our by doing that, you help your body to release that retained water. So not only you feel good, you also look good.
And you should always warm up afterwards. Don't, get warm, people. That's what we want.
Get warm. I mean, can you believe it that now in the modern era we actually voluntarily choose to get cold?
Yes.
Throughout the time our ancestors tried to get warm. But I will leave you who leave you all who are interested to try this with three things. Especially if you have heart condition or circulatory problem, please make sure that you're very, very careful and consult someone who is trained and professional in this area, because we obviously don't want this healthy thing to become unhealthy or pose a risk to your health. And if you're pregnant or recovering from an illness,
Yeah,
this is not for you. And if people are experiencing discomfort or severe discomfort or pain during the plunge, stop it. We shouldn't breed the notion that no pain, no gain, because sometimes
that's right.
pain means stop.
Yep. As we know, it's not for everybody. I'll just finish up by saying, a friend of mine went to the Antarctic and did a cold plunge down there, and he's still looking for his manhood to this day. So I'll just put that out there right now.
I would say ouch. And on that note, well, if you want to know more, not only about cold plunging, but anything health wise, anything about wellness, recipes, easy things to cook during weekdays, please go to anappleaday.com.au. You'll find all of the information in the easy, simple way to hack your life to be healthier and happier.
No, it's good. Always enjoy having you on, Vincent. I'd really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you next weekend here on 5AA.
Thank you. Look after yourself, everyone. Bye bye.